couple of very interesting little things we're going to show you today. And we're here at where we do our camps and things, but there's a very special nut growing at this time of the year. And it's right here in front of you, but we're going to move away from the fire and we're going to go dig a pignut. We're also going to have a look at one or two other little plants, the do's and the don'ts of when it comes to foraging in spring, summer, autumn and winter. Right there. Here we go. It's a fantastic time of the year for foraging. And the great thing about it is different times of the year give different times of, we'll say, little treats. And I'm just going to make myself a little digging stick here out of a piece of willow that I have cut previously, but we're also going to use that piece of willow for something else. And we're going to take a look at this plant. But here, right in front of me, we actually have wild garlic, ramsons. And this is extremely, even those little who's that? Even that little bit is extremely, really pungent and strong. So garlic is fantastic. And you have the leaves, but you don't want to be confusing flowers with each other, because right beside that you have things like hogweed. When hogweed is young, they have to be cooked properly, and you don't rub hogweed on the open skin or it could blister. So it's a pretty dangerous plant. You have things here that are lords and ladies, which is highly, highly poisonous. And all of these things right here, here's a leaf off lords and ladies, and here's a leaf from ramsons. Completely safe and edible and unbelievably poisonous. You don't want that in your system. I tried it before for a laugh. It actually is poisonous. But anyway, this is one of the goodies here, and we're going to take a look at this. Pignut. And pignut is brilliant, and it's actually fun to dig, but it's not your average straightforward dig. And we're going to take a little close-up of the leaves and the flowers, just so you get the proper identification. One of the things before you dig in anybody's land, you got to have permission from the owner, plus you have to have permission to dig, plus you have to know what exactly you're digging, because there are many, many plants out there that are protected. So always refer to a good handbook or do a bit of study before you actually come out and dig. And if in doubt, leave it out. That's number one. When we take a close-up look at the leaves of the pignut, we see that they're very spaced out, unlike leaves such as the cow parsley. And we have other plants with identical looking leaves, but the plant can grow much taller, such as fool's parsley. But fool's parsley is actually poisonous. But at the end of this, pignut is what we're looking for. And it is actually called pignut plant and not just a nut itself. But it's a very interesting story with the pignut itself. So we're going to start digging, but the very interesting thing about digging a pignut is you have to be really, really careful, because you don't just dig and get down and there it is. There's actually a little twist on the stem when you get down to the root. So it goes down along, and then a very frail root goes from nearly a 90 degree out to the nut. And it's very easy to break it, and then it can be very hard to find a nut, because it may look just like a piece of mud and you could throw it away. So we're just going to dig around it and be nice and delicate. But one of the fantastic things that I actually love about the pignut, besides being edible, but it has been a little treat for, they say, for kids for years. They'd go out this time of the year and they'd be digging, but of course, as the name suggests, pignut, the pigs themselves would be eating it. But we're just going to dig around, and I like to go down deep, and nice and easy, and go around, and go, and you have to be very delicate. And look, and right just when we're digging, up pops this tiny nut. This is actually an average size. You can get them a little bit bigger, but you can get them smaller. And what does it resemble? It actually resembles a potato. And over here in Ireland, they actually call them, this is what I love, fairy potatoes. That's brilliant. So you could dig up a load of fairy potatoes, and that actually broke away from the stem. And as you see, the plant itself was growing down, but the root itself was twisted out and that was attached here. So that's why it can be difficult to dig them. But that's wonderful. We can leave that there and we can actually eat that. You should give it a wash if you want, or you can roast them. But really, really, it's worth washing them. You know, just to be always careful. Safety is number one. But you can just clean off the skin. The skin cleans off very, very easy. This is a very, very popular foraging food at this time of the year for people who do foraging or like wild plants or something like that. So that's what it actually looks like in the end. And taste is fairly bland, but you know what? If you're hungry enough, they're good enough.